Hello, thanks so much for joining me for this little chat about all things Neuro-Sparkly at Christmas. Well, not all things, more specifically, the things that if you are in a Neuro-Sparkly household, you face as a reality each Christmas. And there are probably people in your life that, with all due respect, not because of anything other than if you're not in a situation you do not know, have no idea about. Because if you, like me, are the mum in a Neuro-Sparkly house, so you have children with autism or ADHD or other, neurodiverse needs, you may present to the world, as many of us do, as, yeah, everything's fine, because you're not posting those pictures of kids having meltdowns. Like, who would do that? You're just, like everyone, I guess, posting your highlight reel. And the fact of the matter is that there is often so much more going on behind the scenes. And at Christmas, if you're in a Neuro-Sparkly household, there's so much more to consider, because a lot of the things that our Neuro-Sparkly children cling to, such as routine and their normal day-to-day, activities, are changed and are taken away. And this can be so challenging, and often, especially if you've got kids like mine, that are those kids that don't, I say in inverted commas, don't like look like they've got autism, they don't look autistic. Often those kids will mask quite well in school, and then you deal with all of the stress and all of the meltdowns when they come home, they unmask, and they deal with what's been going on during the day. So we're going to talk about all of that today. And if you feel that this chat is resonating with you, and if you feel like, yes, this is exactly what's going on in my life, let me know it in the comments. Equally, if it's not, like to hear opinions either way. But also, if this chat is something that you think, oh my gosh, I wish my mother knew this, I wish my sister understood this, I wish my kids teacher knew this, if there's someone in my life that just doesn't get it, I've got this like uncle that's like, oh, I don't know why they're like that, blah, blah, blah. With love, send it to them. And if this has been sent to you, the person that has sent this to you is sending it to you with love. They're like, hey, with love. This is not like an act of aggression. This is just, look, these are the unseen struggles that our family face. And I would love for you to understand them, because I want to have a great relationship where I can connect with you. And so if someone has sent this to you, it is sent with love. It is sent with love. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that up top. So before we carry on, I should probably introduce myself, because I've not done that yet. If you're new around here, hi, my name's Rihanna Morgan. Everyone calls me Ree. Welcome, or welcome back. If you would like to hang out here, you are going to find all things Neuro-Sparkly families. So if you are a parent who's Neuro-Sparkly, who has diagnosed or undiagnosed, but you see it in yourself, autism or ADHD. Personally, I discovered I was Neuro-Sparkly at age 40, so I had a whole load of not knowing what's going on there. I thought I was just a lot, or scatty, or I've been a lot kinder to myself since finding that out. I sometimes say that our autism journey began when my second child was diagnosed. That's a lie. Our autism journey began when they were all born. My Neuro-Sparkly journey began when I was born. It's just when we came to awareness. So if you are joining here on YouTube, live or on replay, then do let me know down in the comments. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, then obviously I don't think you can comment on podcasts, but you could head to YouTube and you could join the conversation there if you so wish. So yes, as we go through, do let me know, what are your specific struggles in your Neuro-Sparkly household? By the way, I love the term Neuro-Sparkly. I just flippin' love it. Because yes, neurodivergent is the official term. Neurospicy is the one that everyone uses, but Neuro-Sparkly, does that not just encompass our families? And it's not a bad thing. It's a sparkly, lovely thing. And so many of the amazing qualities that people have are actually really positive attributes. It doesn't mean that there are not struggles, and some of those struggles we're going to talk about today. But yeah, I just love that term. So thank you for being here. And before I continue chatting and waffling, let's get on. So the perfect Christmas. Now, this is something that is really difficult, whether your family is Neuro-Sparkly or not. We are sold so much on social media, and not just in like, I buy this, but just in everything has to be this, perfect way, with perfect matching pajamas and perfect, this picture perfect Christmas. I think social media puts so much more pressure on us as parents than our parents ever would have had to deal with, because yeah, you've always got like judgy relatives to deal with, or maybe a couple of judgy friends, but only the judgy friends you physically saw in real life, not the judgy friends all across the globe that could see what you're doing at all times and judging what you're posting. And then this constant barrage of seeing other people's highlight reel, because we do have to remember this, and I say this so much, but just I'm so passionate about it because it's so important. The highlight reel is what you're seeing. You are seeing what people are choosing to share with you. They're not sharing the highs and the lows. They're mostly just probably sharing the highs, okay? There may be a beautiful photograph of someone's lovely Christmas you're seeing, but you don't know if they were arguing just before that was taken, crying just after it was taken. You do not know. You just see that one snapshot. So I just think we all need to bear this in mind. And this is why, while respecting the privacy of my children, I do attempt, while walking this very careful line of privacy, to share when things in life are not picture perfect. And this is why often I'm a bit cryptic when I share that, and I'm sorry about that, because sometimes I do say things on social media and I'm aware it sounds cryptic and odd, because sometimes it's not appropriate to share what's going on, because it's just not appropriate. But I feel it would be dishonest and doing everyone, like our wider community, a disservice if I never posted when things were going wrong, and I never shared when things were going wrong, because then I'm just contributing and fueling all this, oh, everyone's got a perfect life apart from me, to anyone that's watching that. And I think that's so damaging to everyone, me included. I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you right now. So yes, this perfect Christmas probably doesn't like exist for anyone. And also everyone's idea of perfect is different. So my idea of what I want my Christmas day to look like is going to be totally different to yours. And if I tried to conform to someone else's perfect Christmas, like maybe someone's perfect Christmas is visiting like loads of different relatives and things and being out all day, and actually that really wouldn't work for our family. So although that might be the idea of perfect for someone else, for me I'm like, oh no thank you. And I'll get into that a little bit of why in a second. But so we need to remember that perfect doesn't exist. Social media is all smoke and mirrors. And we really need to just think about, not just at Christmas, but in life generally, how important it is to just be like, right, this is what's right for my family. I'm going to put my blinkers on and not look around at, well, what are they doing? And should I be doing that? And stop shoulding all over ourselves. Carrie Bradshaw said that in Sex and the City such a long time ago, and I love it. Stop shoulding all over ourselves. And stop, as soon as we stop going, I should do this, should do that, we're going to have an easier time. So, some of the challenges, let me know if any of these resonate. Okay, let me know. So, routine disruption is such a big one. So, kids with autism specifically, I'm going to talk mostly about kids with autism because that's my experience. But obviously, if your children have ADHD or other sort of neurodivergencies, then that is going to be relevant too. It's just in my experience. Although technically I am 99% sure that 2 out of my 4 children absolutely do have ADHD, and we are investigating that. And I'm pretty sure, I'd probably go 95% sure the other 2 do not. So just, just put it out there. But yeah, so from my experience, my children really thrive on routine. And there are so many things, and you have to remember that teachers in schools want to make everything amazing and fun for kids, and that's wonderful. And so many of these things that are brought into school are fun, quote unquote, like the fun, exciting, yay, we get to do this instead of math, woo, sort of things. And for lots of neurotypical kids, and although it turns out I'm not actually neurotypical, I don't have autism. So therefore, when I was in school, if someone was like, hey, we don't have to do maths, we can just do this fun Christmas thing, I was like, school. Amazing. I'm here for it. That made me happy. So If you've got children with autism, that might not be the case. So maybe they might not even like maths that much. But the fact they always have it at a certain time, like maybe they always do it maths just before lunch in school. I don't know what your kids' timetable's like, but maybe that's what they do. And then when that is taken away, it's like, oh, like the thing I was clinging to make me feel okay is not here. I guess how I imagine it feels for a pillar of routine to be taken away is, I don't know, what's the best way to describe this? I'm in my head, I imagine it as if something that we rely on to just help us, feel safe. I don't know, like one of the walls of your house missing or something. You'd be like, is everyone, can people not see that? Is that, like suddenly, yeah, I guess that's how I imagine it feeling. I don't know. Let me know if anyone else feels that that's a good analogy, or if anyone can come up with a better analogy. I'm kind of thinking on the fly here, but I would imagine if you came downstairs and one of the walls in the room was just open, it was the garden, you'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I can't just keep going about my day like normal, because that's totally thrown me. There's a hole inside the house, and everyone else is like, no, it's fine, it's good, it's exciting, and you're like, no, there's a hole inside the house. I would imagine that's how it feels to kids with autism who rely on that kind of level of routine. And when you think of it like that it doesn't mean the same to them as maybe it does to you, then perhaps we can have a little more understanding and empathy for that. And I think from a teacher's point of view, if anyone is a teacher that's tuning in, because I know so many, you do not go into being a teacher if you don't like, okay, maybe years ago, maybe when I was a kid, there were some teachers that were like, why are you a teacher? But most of the teachers that I've met now are in it just because they genuinely love kids, and they're amazing people. Genuinely, I don't know how they do it. Lockdown taught us anything. It's that I would not make a good teacher. I love my children, but I need someone else to be their teacher. So hats off to teachers. But I think if there's one thing I would love teachers to understand, it's that these fun changes and these extra Christmas activities and things can be so fun for most kids, yes. And I'm sure kids with autism can absolutely enjoy them too. However, if they are not significant, it's not significant warning and preparation for these things, then they will not be enjoyed in the way that you intend them to. So I think the more preparation and warning, forewarning and planning, and teachers love planning, don't they? They have to plan out their days, their weeks or whatever, and their lesson plans. So if during that planning you could plan to forewarn parents and kids that, hey, there's going to be this dress up day on this date, or from this day we're going to be changing things, and there's going to be, school play rehearsals or whatever, and we're not going to have a normal routine, then the more notice that parents and kids can be given, I think that can really help to prepare people. Just speaking from experience with my kids, I know that 1,000,000% helps them. And I think this comes down again to the surprise element. So my kids, let's take an example, it's not Christmassy. And by the way, I'm fully aware that it is still only October at the time I'm speaking to you. I'm fully aware of that. Okay, it's not escaped my attention. But inside of my Organised Life Club, I did poll everybody when they wanted to start doing the Christmas stuff. So we already had our Christmas planning party. If you've not yet caught that is on replay inside the Organised Life Club. So the people spoke and they wanted to start talking about Christmas stuff now and preparation for it, and I'm absolutely here for that, because I personally believe that Christmas is so much on mums generally, and if you are in a Neuro-Sparkly household, there's this extra layer of all the stuff we're talking about today to deal with. Then it's, the earlier you can get started, the more you can spread the load, and the more mental bandwidth you've got space for in December. So if you're not yet in the Organised Life Club, by the way, there is a link, I think, down in the description, where you can join. If you join before the end of October, so before the clock strikes midnight on Friday the 31st of October, then we are still in the founding member launch phase, because the Organised Life Club, which is the place, by the way, if you are parenting in a Neuro-Sparkly household, if you are a Neuro-Sparkly mum, either you're Neuro-Sparkly yourself or you're a mum of Neuro-Sparkly kids, either way it makes you a Neuro-Sparkly mum. Okay, welcome to the gang. If you are just thinking, wow, how am I supposed to juggle all this stuff, and I am ready for calm, not chaos, and I am ready to have all of the routines and the systems and the strategies gift wrapped and given to me, then the Organised Life Club is the place for you. This is all the stuff that I've had to figure out the hard way, that I have spent many days, hours, days, weeks, months formulating and putting together into systems. And these are the very systems that hold my life together so that I don't lose my tiny little mind. So the Organised Life Club, that's, I totally tangentially gone off this, haven't I? This side quest, because I was explaining why I'm talking about Christmas so early. But yeah, it's because the planning party is already inside the Organised Life Club. While I am on my tangent, before we get back on topic, I have got a free workshop I'm running, which is a Christmas secrets workshop, okay, which I'm really excited for. It's next week. If you're watching or listening in the future, there will be a replay, so no worries. Again, I've put the link for that down in the description, something like join my Christmas secrets workshop. The reason I'm running this, and this is inside of my free community, the reason I'm running it this way, not on a public platform, YouTube, hello, is because I am aware, I'm going to be careful now, I'm aware that sometimes little ears are around when mummies are watching this stuff, okay? And everything on my channel is normally considered safe for little ears, because I know that anything I put on the internet my children could technically watch, because they are allowed to watch my channel, because on my channel I have vlogs and things that they like to watch of, you know, themselves at Christmas or on trips or whatever. So I'm aware my kids could watch those because they're technically allowed to. I have full awareness of that they could watch now or in the future anything I post publicly. And I know that you guys watch with your kids, and maybe your kids watch my channel because of the same reasons that my kids would watch certain videos. I mean, they're probably unlikely to watch something like this because they'd be bored, but you never know. I am very aware there are certain things that I do not wish to share publicly, especially around Christmas, because I do not want to, I don't think they're safe for little ears, okay? So those are the things we're talking about inside of the Christmas Secrets Workshop. So that is next Tuesday. I'd love it if you come join me live. It's next Tuesday. I'm actually doing that in the evening. I very rarely do that because my kids are home, and but I just thought it'd be nice to actually do it at a time when more people might be available. So it's next Tuesday night, which is Tuesday the 4th. If you follow the link, you will get a secret invitation to that inside of the community, and it's like, it's strictly no kids allowed, okay? It's the gloves are off, like, do not watch out loud with your kids, do not, like, you've been warned, okay? Just saying, you've been warned. So yeah, I would love it if you come join me for that, but that's why that's done in that like really convoluted, gotta like send you a secret link kind of way, because we don't want to be saying things that are not suitable for little ears, okay? So back to some challenges. I'm going to have a little drink because I think we should all hydrate, and I'm trying to set a good example, and also, you know, also I am getting over tonsillitis, so we're just chuffed that my voice is pretty much working. So surprise versus preparation. I think another challenge that Neuro-Spicy kids, I still prefer Neuro-Sparkly kids struggle with this time of year is surprises. So if you take an example of kids liking things, but not necessarily liking the things in the form of a surprise, it's when I talk to my kids about Disney trips. So as you know, we're a Disney loving family. I have a whole channel which is not exclusively but mostly Disney vlogs, and we love it. My kids love Disney, going to Disney, all things. And I said to them, you know, that some people literally get picked up from school and they're like, surprise, we're going to Disney now. And the kids are like, oh, it's amazing. My kids are like, please never do that to us. I was like, well, I wouldn't, because I thought that's what you'd say. But yeah, it's just something they would hate. So it's not that they hate the thing. They don't hate the thing. And just at Christmas, they don't necessarily hate the activity or the thing they're expected to do. It's the surprise, it's the fact it's sprung on them that they really don't like. Well, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, when he was very small, went through this phase of, this is before I knew about autism, hating wrapping paper, absolutely hating it. And if anything, like, he wouldn't unwrap a present if it had wrapping paper on it. So if someone else unwrapped it in front of him to give him the toy inside, he still wouldn't touch the toy because he thought, I don't know if he thought it had been contaminated by the wrapping paper, but he was not here for it at all. And I don't know if that was just the concealed element, the surprise, I don't know. And he doesn't actually remember it because he was so small when this was before Bella was born, so he was probably 2 or 3. And then, as with many things, actually, I found with my kids, and I don't know if this is for neurotypical kids too, but sometimes there is this massive struggle you have with them, and then suddenly it's gone, and it's a new level, new devil, there's a new challenge, but that's gone. So obviously, it got to the stage where he just didn't hate wrapping paper anymore. But this was such a huge challenge for us. So at the time, I didn't even know about autism, but it's trying to explain to well-meaning relatives, not all of which were super understanding, that it's not that he's being ungrateful. I mean, not that they should have been irritated either way. He was a small child, but trying to be like, oh, sorry, we're not allowed any wrapping paper near him because it makes him freak out. And this was just such a hard thing to explain to people. And I guess I worried about offending people at the time. And obviously, this is made a lot worse if you've got people in your life that easily take offense. So if you've got people in your life that are very understanding of the challenges you face, then that is obviously so much easier. But these challenges that I'm talking about today, it's really made so much harder when people don't get it and they don't want to get it. And it's like that family member, and this is one that I'm kind of going all over the place, off topic, that I was going to come to, about at Christmas, you often have to deal with people that you don't normally see. So this has happened a lot less over the years because I think as I've got older, as I've been more understanding of my children's challenges, I bother less and less with people that make our lives more difficult than they need to be. Now, this isn't always possible because if you're one of those families that goes to a gathering and there are people there, maybe people of the same generation as you, but often older generation than you, getting all like, wow, we didn't have all this autism in my day. Everyone's being diagnosed with something now. It's just trendy, isn't it? And this can be challenging for so many reasons. I mean, first of all, it's totally belittling everything you've been through. It's totally ignoring your experience, ignoring your challenge. And chances are, in my experience and the experience of other parents I've spoken to, these comments normally come from the sparkliest of Neuro-Sparkly people. I mean, when it's all like, wow, I don't know where this came from. We haven't got any autism in our family. And you just want to scream, you, or the person you married, like, can you not see it? Like, would you be saying this? Would you be saying this to another person if struggling with social awareness and social understanding wasn't something you struggled with? Because if you didn't struggle with social awareness and social understanding, you would know how wrong it is to say this to another person. So often these comments about, oh, there's no autism in my day, and this sort of denial and getting really cross and stroppy about it, come from the most neurodiverse people in your family, and probably, where it's been passed down from. And that's really hard. It's really difficult because you've got all these pressures anyway on you, you're parenting in your sparkly household. And then at Christmas, it's like this extra pressure, must make it special. And this pressure of seeing people going to places that you wouldn't normally go. Maybe you've got to go for meetings with lots of family members or whatever. And that's so difficult. And then when you throw this on top of people going, oh no, it's just, I'm totally ignoring your entire experience and invalidating that, even though you can now see plain as day, the more you learn about autism, that they probably have autism. It's so difficult. Okay, it's just so challenging. Let me know if that's something you've ever experienced. I am betting, I would put large amounts of money on the fact that a lot of people have experienced that. So Anthony in the comments says, in our school, when we have these out of routine days, we have support staff and teachers available to help these children, take them to a quieter space and to continue the activities and do their maths. That's amazing. I hope so many schools are doing that. I think the good news is, based on my children's school, the knowledge and understanding is increasing, and the level of support, the level of awareness about this stuff is just increasing so much so more so than 10 or even 5 years ago, the things that they're putting in place and the support and the understanding. Now, I think the problem with it is a bit like anything. It's like like with GPs. Some of them are amazing and some of them are really not. And I think the challenge with schools is that some, even within a school perhaps, some staff are really understanding and knowledgeable about this stuff and others not so much. And it'll be great when we get to a place, because I'm sure we will get there. I just don't know how long till we get there, but it'll be great till when we get to a place where this level of understanding and these policies are across the board and they're national, and everyone, whichever school you choose to send your child to, you're going to get the same level of support and understanding. So fingers crossed we can get there. Like, I think, and this is why I think it's just so important to talk about this stuff, and which is why I do, because the more we can talk about this stuff and raise the awareness, then just the easier the world's going to be for our kids, So we're disrupting the kids' routines, even if it's for fun stuff. We're disrupting their routines. We're taking them to see people that they don't normally see. We are putting them in places they don't normally go. Maybe they're visiting a relative. Maybe it's in a really crowded situation because it's a big family gathering. That not tends to be what happens in our family, but I know lots of families experience this. And we talked about this a lot inside of that Christmas planning workshop about and I'll be talking about it a lot more before Christmas, about how you can move your Christmas from one that is very much other people's Christmas to one that suits your kids and is set out to support them and is set out to make sure that they are in the best position to just be able to enjoy it and not be put in really stressful situations. But honestly, and I can remember as a kid myself just being taken to, like, there'd be like loads of great aunties you literally couldn't remember the names of, and you had to go and talk to them all. I hope that everyone is now a little bit more like my body, my choice, like with my kids, like I know a lot of you are with your kids, but like when I was a kid, it was like, give auntie so and so, you can't even remember her name, a kiss, and it was like, so if you throw in autism on top of that as well, that, like, I can't imagine how difficult that must be for kids. So luckily I know, there's a lot more understanding now. But yeah, please don't make your kids kiss anyone that they don't want to or that they don't know, or, just no, we don't need to be doing that. And then I think when older relatives are like, come on then, give me a hug, you have to be able to say, it's okay, they're not comfortable with that, and to be able to advocate for your kids, which is a whole other chat. But yeah, that is definitely one of the challenges. Sensory overload can be really exacerbated around the Christmas period. Extra lot noise and lights and crowds. If you just go into the shops, it's just busier, and there's just more, isn't there? And I think the best way to kind of counteract this is to build in those breaks and to really be picking your own schedule for your own family and for your own kids, and not be led by having to cram too much in. We're thinking like less cramming, more calming, because ultimately you think, oh, I want to have all these experiences, but if you cram too much in, they're not going to enjoy any of them. So yeah, sensory overload, just too much fit in the diary, noise, lights, crowds, scratchy clothes, Christmas jumpers. So especially if your kids have got Christmas concerts coming up, try and speak to your kids' teachers as early as possible about what they have to wear. Think about like maybe a thin layer underneath what they have to wear to keep any, because why they make kids like proper costumes so scratchy is beyond me. But they're just scratchier than normal clothes, aren't they? And I know my kids are really stressed out about that. So sometimes like a thin layer underneath. But just having to think all of this through in order to sort of counterbalance these things and prepare for them can just be a lot on Neuro-Sparkly mums. So like, I just want to say, I salute you, I see you, I get it. Food. Making sure you get safe foods in all the places you're going. Maybe the kids like have to have Christmas dinner and it's not their like set meal they'd normally have for school dinners. Maybe you're eating out more, and then the restaurants don't do any of the normal food, they're just doing Christmas dinner. So these are things you've got to prepare ahead, and like checking menus. Are there going to be safe foods on the menu, or is everything just Christmas flavored? And then the social demands of just like, we'll just pop here, just visit so and so, and just trying to cram too much in. It's all a lot, okay? It is a lot. So we are going to be talking about this a lot more over the coming weeks and months. So make sure you are subscribed, if you're to the podcast, to the YouTube channel, wherever you are tuning in. Victoria's saying online shopping is her best friend. Yes, Okay, so yeah, I mean, I get it too. I'm actually doing, is it next week? I think it is, inside of the Organised Life Club. So if you're an Organised Life Club member, the details are inside the club. But end of next week, I believe it's a week Friday, we're doing the Christmas gift planning workshop. I'm going through my spreadsheets. The spreadsheet's there for you to download and copy and to utilize to go through Christmas and birthdays and all the things. So we'll talk about that a little bit more inside of the Christmas Secrets workshop, which we're doing on Tuesday. So the Christmas Secrets workshop, let's rewind some things we've got coming up for you. Tomorrow, if you're inside the Organised Life Club, we've got our planning party. We're planning for November. So then you download the printable planning pages. We do them together. We hold each other accountable together. Okay. I'm sharing with you what I got done and what I actually didn't get done for October, and being very honest about it and being accountable. I can't tell you how good it is actually knowing I have to show up for that, because we all find that knowing we're going to have to show up and be like, yeah, I did that stuff, or no, I didn't, just really makes us stay on track. So that's tomorrow inside the Organised Life Club. Details, links to join down below. If you've not joined yet, like I said, there are founding members rates that disappear on Friday. If you are not in there yet, honestly, it's like founding member rates, low price than it's ever going to be again. Check it out. So that's tomorrow. Next Tuesday, we're doing the Christmas Secrets workshop. That's inside the free community, but you can only access it inside of the free community for the reasons I've already given about just not wanting to put this stuff out in public. And that is going to be a grown-ups only event, okay? No kiddos. Do not have your kids in the background while you're watching or listening to that. And then next week, again, in the Organised Life Club, we're doing the Christmas gift planning. It's like Christmas and birthday sort of hybrid thing, and going through that spreadsheet and just talking about budgeting and shopping and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go to a little couple of comments. Paige says, I don't understand seeing family that don't bother with you the rest of the year and then mock your neurodivergent family. Have stopped this recently. Paige, number one, I totally agree with you. Number two, well done. Because it is a brave move to be like, no, I'm asserting my boundaries here. My boundaries are, I only let people into my life that enhance the experience of my family. Anyone that is making us feel less than, anyone that is negatively impacting us, you don't have to say, I'm not speaking to you anymore. You just have to just politely withdraw. Quietly and politely. You don't need to announce it. Don't need to be like, I am unfollowing you. I am not speaking to you. Don't need any of that. Just politely decline invitations. Just withdraw. Just quietly stop returning messages and distance yourself. Minimize contact with anyone that makes you feel less than. And quite frankly, that's not just for Christmas, okay? That is for all year round. So Paige, well done. Proud of you. I think we should all take a leaf out of Paige's book and, only actually be engaging with people that are enhancing our experience at Christmas or any other time of the year. So head down to the description, pop your email in the box, and I will send you that secret link for the Christmas Secrets workshop. If you're listening in the future, there will be a replay you can catch for that. So it'll be fun if you're coming live to come hang out with me next Tuesday night, and it's stuff I've never been able to talk about publicly, okay? So it's just the curtain's been drawn back. That's what I'm going to say right now. Planning party tomorrow, Organised Life Clubbers, do not forget that. If you're not in the club yet, if you're thinking about joining and you want the planning parties, the planning printables every month, the accountability, the workshops where we go through, there's the assess your routine workshop for Neuro-Sparkly families. There's the mealtime routine workshop where you go through meal planning and fast eating and working on a family routine that works for your family and building all of that. All of that, since it's moved over to the new platform, it's not just a workshop and a workbook. It's actually broken down into step-by-step, like micro lessons that you can go and dip in and out of. It's so much easier to digest. So really thrilled with that, which is why we've moved platforms, just to make it so much better. And what's the other ones in there? We've got the the weekend reset routine workshop. Oh my gosh, like if you've not yet been through that, it's going to change your flipping life. I tell you, that's going to change your life. Especially if you're a Neuro-Sparkly family, you've just got that much more. Like all of us mums have got so much to juggle, but if you're a Neuro-Sparkly family, you've got that much more to juggle. So yeah, the link to join the Organised Life Club is below. The link for the free workshop is below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys soon.